Okay, everybody, hello and good evening. First and foremost, are you receiving me loud and clear? Excellent, that's good to know. Hello to everybody that's joining us from the start, in particular, Lou. Excellent gentleman living out in Nashville. I know they've not had an awful lot of luck recently between the weather and the situation that's affecting everybody. So I wish you both all the best. Reg, don't worry. The picture that you're supposed to be seeing at the minute is the big, bright neon JM live little screen that I've created. Should say a sort of bit of an apology to everyone. I put a little poll out asking which of the two things people would like to see this week, a live edit or story time going through my collection of caps, and it was actually pretty neck and neck for a long time. Then the caps eventually won out. I actually ordered a webcam because it's one thing that I don't actually seem to own in order to do the caps thing. But apparently, along with flour and toilet roll, something that there has been a run on recently is webcams. I mean, my favorite computer parts supplier has no webcams in stock at all, nothing. So yeah, so hi to Henry, Apex, Andrew, CAC, George, Reg, Ricky, Mark. Welcome all. So we're just going to toilet paper is valuable. It's a bit odd because sometimes I go to the supermarket and the shelves are full, and other times they are not, and they're nearly empty. So it's all a little bit strange. So I hope that wherever people are, they are kind of doing well. Let's see. Okay, so we got 60 odd people watching already. That's amazing. So it is 8:15. Let's get this show on the road. We are here to do two things this evening. We are here to answer your questions as always, and we are here to do a bit of an edit. So if my broadcasting software is working, do we now have a picture of my editing software? Yep. Okie dokie. All right. Okay, I will try and move the mic a little bit closer, but that's the sort of close to the best that I can do, because it's kind of hard to be really super close to the mic and up here. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a sound test because when I hit play in here, you should then also be able to hear the audio from this. So let's give that a quick test. Did we hear a little engine rumble there? That should hopefully have come through. I mean, it looks like it did. This is all kind of new stuff. Oh, hello to Rico from Madrid in Spain. I know you guys have had a particularly hard time. No engine noise coming through. No engine noise at all. Okay, let's see if there's better dialogue because it wasn't. Okay. Did we get that little burst of audio there from me? Because if not, I'm going to have to quickly have a look at this and see what the hell is going on. But it should have come through, in theory, anyway. This is interesting. Nope. Okay. Alright. It's a bit of an odd one. No, it's okay. Desktop audio is not coming through. Okay, so give me all a couple of seconds to try and work out what is going on here because it's always a little bit frustrating. It was very quiet. Okay. Sorry, all. This is always a bit of a. Sorry about this. Joys of trying to do stuff live. Okie dokie. Probably should have checked this out earlier, but everything was working nicely and fine and lovely and dandy. And then the desktop audio is now not. Okay, sorry. Yep, okay. There's an echo going on there. That should have fixed that. Let me just. I'm just going to turn the Premiere capture off for 2 seconds and see what's going on here. Okay. See what's going on with my audio. Okay. Aha. Now, did you all just get a burst of music then? Or burst of sound of some sort, burst of engine, burst of talking? Yes. Okay. Okay, so we now have a hilarious situation where you can hear it all, and I can't. So you know what? I think I have an idea what's going on. With any luck, I'm now having to plug into my. I've been trying to be clever here. You see, that's what's happened. I've been trying to be clever, and it hasn't worked. Being clever doesn't work. Who'd have thunk it? Okay, so. All right, so we got the sound of the car, and we've got. Oh yeah, technology. Yeah. Okay, so you should now have. We have talking, we have rumble of cars as and when, and we should also be able to hear me, which means we can get this show on the road. Okay, what car is that? That is a Porsche 964. Well, it's a 911, but internal code is 964. So, to talk to you a little bit about this video and why I've chosen this particular video to use for the live stream, I got contacted by the guys at Sam's Detailing to come and film their car because they had this amazing little project set up. They are going to turn this car into an RWB, the Rallye-Begriff, the crazy, mad Japanese wide-body things. Hello, Abby. And they wanted me to come down and drive the car before and after the conversion. So it's going to be a really cool little special. It was going to be part of my sort of 9/11 week that I was sort of halfway through filming. I'd already shot a load of installments for it, and so we were going to do this before thing. Now, the car was then going to get built at Players at Goodwood in about a month or so, and I was then going to drive the car afterwards, if possible, do some filming of the car when it was being converted, and then that was it. So the idea being that it was going to start on, the part 1 video was going to come out on Saturday, and part 2 video was going to come out on Sunday. Gus has asked, how much does an RWB cost to have done? It's quite expensive. It depends on exactly which bits you take. From what I've seen, you're looking really at a minimum of like 20 grand. Going upwards, depending on whether you just have the basic arches, whether you have the whole lot. Michael, funny you ask about a TR7. If somebody offered me one to review, I might, but honestly, I really don't. I don't like them. I think they look awful, and yeah. So anyway. This is my edit software. This is Adobe Premiere Pro. So if everybody that is kind of into editing and all that sort of stuff, that is what I like. Welcome, Bib. Take a seat at the back. For those that are interested in which editing software they should be using, honestly, there isn't really a best. There is just what works for you. If you're looking to do YouTube seriously, I would recommend any sort of professional level stuff. You want really Adobe, Final Cut, Avid. There's a variety of different stuff. I've been using Premiere for various reasons. I used to be a really diehard Avid fan, and then I started using Premiere because it played better with the codecs that my cameras used. Avid is really not very happy at working with codecs it doesn't like. So this is my little setup. So for those not familiar, this is your kind of input window. This is your source monitor. So this is where you find the clips that you want to use, and then over here is your sequence. So this is going to be this is actually what we're going to be editing to. So it's completely blank at the minute, and all of this stuff is going to make sense in a moment because this is how I edit so fast. The cost of Adobe Premiere Pro, it depends. So Adobe moved a few years ago to going to a subscription-based software, and I think if you just want Premiere, if you're not worried about having Photoshop or anything else, it's something like £20 a month. So if you're making a living from it, obviously, then it's well worth doing. If you're a student or a teacher, you can get an academic discount as well, which I think is then about 20 quid. All Lap of the World, welcome, good evening. He has asked if I have an opinion on DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is actually a fairly cool piece of software. Started out as a color grading type piece of software, and it's now evolved into a sort of editing thing. I haven't used it in quite a long time, be completely honest. I know my buddy Laurie and his mates, they use Resolve because there's about 5 of them doing editing, so I think they use Resolve because obviously it's much cheaper than having 5 copies of this. So how do I edit so fast? When I film these cars, they get rigged up with a whole bunch of cameras. So generally, I'll kind of try and put one down about here that's looking forwards. Often I'll have one on the bonnet, kind of getting a second angle at me. There will be one inside the windscreen as well. There'll be an exhaust cam. And in fact, over here on the right, you'll see this is the exhaust camera. So it is just regular Sony action cam. Then you have here, so this can be a little bit slow. You have here, this was mounted just about here. You can sort of tell on the glass, because often when cars are quite curvy like this, Apex GT4, how long does it take to make a video? Well, you're about to find out. Depends on how many questions I get asked, I suppose. Callum, how many GoPros do I use? I use 5 Sony action cams. So one goes here on the side, and then this is the angle that we have from the bonnet, which is kind of catching a little bit of that sort of intake there, a little bit of the front here. It's quite a nice little arty shot. And then we have this for a sort of forward-looking shot, so it catches a little bit of headlight, and then this is our forwards shot here, the main forward shot, which is way off. So first thing I need to do is I need to get all of these shots kind of lined up. Now what I've done is I have synced them all by using a toot of the horn. So I did this earlier to save time, but if I hit play now, the first thing you should hear is a toot of the horn. There you go, and it's the same on all the different cameras. So have I ever lost a camera? Yes, once, which are in 4 years and 500 something videos, I actually think is quite good. So you toot the horn, and that lets you sync up all of the cameras. So that then means you can edit this kind of like live TV, which is what we're about to do. So what I need to do first, though, is line up all of these cameras. So I'm just going to go in here, and then if this is working properly, there you go. So that looks kind of level to me, but I need to sort things out because I need to make sure that you can't see the edges. And then I have a special little filter over here which gets rid of the fisheye effect that you get with a lot of action cams. So you hit that and it kind of gets rid of the fisheye. And then let's have a look at the next shot, and it's actually kind of like that, but I'm just going to see whether it looks better with the fisheye in or out. Not sure. I think I'm gonna leave it out for now. Okay, this next one, nothing I can really do with that. These action cams actually have a different lens on them. Tau2, why don't I use timecode? Because action cams can't really use timecode in a meaningful way. Simple as that. So, Mr. Titration asks, he says he's really slow and rubbish at editing. Have I got good time? Any tips? Yes, I do have a couple of really big tips. Number one, watch this video in its entirety because we'll show you quite a few different things I do to edit. Number two, by having so many cameras rolling at the same time allows me to get a lot of footage, which is really easy to get to make sure everything works. This one we're going to change, but it's 180 degrees. The big thing as well. So two big things I'd say out there to all of the people watching that are actually you wanting to do editing, wanting to do YouTube, that kind of stuff, I would say go and watch some tutorials of the editing software it is that you use. Even if you think you can make it work, go and watch it anyway, because one of the things that I'll be doing a lot of is I will be using the keyboard. So if you're kind of marking clips by doing that, and then dragging it across, you are doing it wrong. You are taking far too long. So what we're going to do is I need to find where this video actually starts properly. So there is a track here. This green one is the audio track because that's recorded separately. So I'm going to find where I actually start talking properly. So you can play through. So for example, for play stop, JKL. These actually work. These actually will work on YouTube as well. JKL is very common. Reverse, play, stop, and forward. Vegas Pro is not bad software. It's odd software. I used to use it a long
Hello, everybody.
Ago. There we go. So there's the classic hello, everybody.
Hello, Birella.
And then, so what I'm going to do, bang. So, for example, there, what I just did was like, okay, that's the space where this bit of video is going to start. So to select, I've hit my out point. So I just hit O on the keyboard, and that hits an out point. There's no in point, so it's automatically selected this. And then I hit the button, which is the little apostrophe key, and that will delete everything there. So it's nice and quick. Then at the other end, so to give you a rough idea of how long. Okay, so this video has a weird thing about it, which we're going to fix. Whereas the camera ran out of memory card, so the main clip here actually stops. So I'm going to go back into my bin, and in here somewhere there should be. So I recorded a whole bunch of stuff at the same time, which is why you'll find loads and loads of bits here that don't make any sense, that have got different names of different videos on. And this is also sort of showing you as well what the what happens basically when I film, because I film everything quite some time in advance. I'm just going to find the clip that I'm looking for because it has snuck away. So this particular clip, these videos, there's about 5 videos all shot at the same time, and they were shot in, well, March 17th, I think this one was. So that gives you a rough idea of the time difference. Now, this was actually shot after the Jaguar XJL, which you will have already seen. And so that gives you an idea of how the videos will come out at different times. They don't come out in the order that they're filmed, and this also explains how I wind up having so many people that are... sorry, Keith. This explains how you get a lot of people thinking that I'm out filming during lockdown, when in actual fact, this is a video that I filmed the best part of a month ago, in fact, nearly a month to the day. And this is probably not going to come out for a long time, because the part 2 is not actually ready yet. So if we scroll to the end here, you can see this video itself ends at just under 18 minutes. So the whole finished video,
as long as I can,
is less than 18 minutes.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
There you go. So that's where that is going to end. Okie dokie. Okay, Callum, why do I film everything so far in advance? So the simple reason for that is that I always want to make sure that the content comes out in a nice sort of even flow. But you've no idea when or what you're going to be able to actually film. So I kind of I make sure there's always something in reserve. A couple of years ago, we had the Beast from the East, so we had snow for like 2 weeks, and I wanted to make sure that at no point in time would I ever be stuck in a situation where I just didn't have anything. So I got a load of clips here, so now everyone that's watched the videos know that my videos do follow a certain formula. Apex asked, do I like editing? Yeah, sometimes. It actually depends on the video. Some videos I'm like super excited to film. So I did a GT40 just before lockdown. It was the last thing before lockdown, and that's not going to come out for another month, which pains me because I loved that video. Loved editing it. So this shot here, for example, you guys will recognize this one. Doesn't that car sound good? So this is going to be my end shot. Okay, this is the classic intro. Also, really eagle-eyed people will spot this from the credit sequence that I'm now using. So this is the car that shoots through in the little credit sequence, but this is not what we want to have as our opening. We want to have something different as our opening. So let's find a nice opening shot that's going to kind of grab the audience's attention. Okay, let's play this one, shall we? Let's see what we think of this one. So this is a nice shot as well. It's filmed in Clumber Park. I think the place is called... Here we go. It's nice, but it's not quite dynamic enough. So that's going to go in. That's going to be used at some point later. This one sounds like it's going to be good. Okay, so let's play this one. Nice, big, super big wide-angle shot. Okay. Here we go. That I like. That I like. So that is going in there. And I always like to put a little bit of an audio fade. I'm going to talk more about audio fades in a little bit. And we're going to have just a gentle dissolve. So things come in nicely and neatly. Then we're going to go to the little intro. Roger, you just bought a C4S today in Norfolk. Congratulations. Wasn't the one that was talked about in Pistonheads, was it? Because there's someone that's had a lot of bad luck. PPH, I have a plan to film some stuff on 16mm film. I might do a video about that too. So yes, so I have a little folder I call Imagery and Ting. So this involves all of the clips that get used an awful lot. So here is the intro. Everybody knows. So the car. So that. There we go. That little bit there is from the 964 shoot. So next thing, basically, is a minute. This is so. I then want a little effect to go over here. I bought one of these little Premiere Pro, 600 effects things for Premiere Pro 600 effects things for like $20 or something. So they're kind of little pre-made transitions, and that kind of gets me in and out of the intro. So they're a little bit fiddly to go on because they are quite short. So that then becomes like this. Let's go! There you go. Now, and then I decide at the end how long I kind of want this bit to last at the end. And there we go. So kind of when the music kind of goes quiet, that's sort of when I tend to go into the main bit. So we've now got what I sort of call the multi-clip, because, well, that's what I call it, because that's what it is. Okay. Somebody just asked me about if someone is self-employed for less than 12 months and does not need to send a self-attestment tax return at the moment, do you qualify for government grants? No. Pretty sure you don't. And did I manage to sell the Mercedes? No, I didn't. Person that won the bid didn't turn up. The second person didn't want it. Someone then offered to buy it, and Apex wants to know about the cars, the 29 cars are hidden in the intro. There are 29 cars in here. I will do a separate video talking about those. So that will be, I will reveal, of course, where all of these are, and then we're gonna go from
Hello,
here.
everybody. Today.
So we need to get from here to here. Okay, Bobby says, okay, on a lot of the tracking shots, the driver doesn't seem to rev the car out. Is that by my request? Okay, so this is a really good one, because all the drive-by shots are pretty much not me driving. They will be the owner of the car driving. Sometimes it'll be my, one of my friends, depending on what it is. So if it's an Audi video, it's generally my buddy Darren. We of course try and be, we are respectful of speed limits, things like that, in whatever area we are. So you have to kind of think of that. You have to be very careful about, upsetting the neighbors, all that sort of jazz. Some people go hell for leather. Some people just kind of poodle along. Apex asks how the shots are so stable when they're on the car. So here's the truth. There's only one camera that actually has stabilization, and that's this main one, because that one gets shaken around quite a bit. None of the others have stabilization. The fact is that they're all tiny little cameras that are right on the car, so they don't need it. And actually, I don't like stabilization on the car-mounted cameras anyway. I don't think it works very well. So what we're now going to do, so this is the trick. Okay, this is the big secret. If you don't want to watch any more of the video than this, but this is how I can edit so far. Wow. Synodon just sent me £2. Blimey, that's the first time someone's ever actually sent me something on it. I turned this. There's a thing on here called Super Chat, where people can like tip you, I guess, and gamers do it all the time. I turned it on last week because somebody mentioned that it wasn't on. I didn't expect anyone to actually use it. Wow, you legend! Thank you. So here's what's happened. I have created this multi-clip. You have seen this multi-clip here. It has all 6 of my camera angles plus my microphone all in perfect synchronization. So, what is the significance of that? That means that Richard asked about computer spec. It's not particularly specky computer. It was really, really high-end 6 years ago. Put it that way. What happens is, when you hit play, you can, using the keyboard. So, let me see if this actually will work. Okay, so you can now see this is kind of how the software is seeing it. This looks like one clip here, but it is in fact all of those 6 clips all at once. So you could click manually through that if you wanted to, but if you try and play them all at once, the computer does not like it. So you play through, and you can then edit as if it was live TV. So, we didn't play. Today you join me for the first installment of the first 2-part special here on 9/11 week at JayEmm on Cars. Hello everybody. So there you go, first mistake. Now, but what you'll notice there is that halfway through that, I kind of hit a button. And it just changes to the other angle. So let's, obviously I'm going to have to restart this, so let's find out that. You are going to get a few mistakes and things in this, and I apologise in advance if there's any swears in there, because, you know, there's a reason that this is rarely done live. So I'm going to put that back from whence it was. I hate lining these things up. They can be a pain, because everything's got to line up, otherwise it won't work. So, and I need to get back to the first angle of me. So, hello everybody. This weekend we have a little 2-part special. Thanks in part. Hello everybody. See, you see, this is the thing. This is the thing. Everybody thinks that I can get stuff absolutely perfect, easy, and right first time, and that's not the case. All that happens is that you're actually just seeing a highly edited version of what went on. So this is how come this video, which is, you know, 18 minutes of talking, is going to wind up being about 12 or 13 minutes or so. Turbo asked a very interesting question: how do I deal with the insurance side of things on these reviews? Oh, we've lost the picture. We lost the picture. Okay. Oh. Okay. Sorry about that, everyone. I think I know what's happened there. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah. Yep. I know exactly what happened there. Okay. Have we got picture back? Yeah, microphone volume, I'm afraid, is, I think, sort of turned up as high as it will go. Yeah, I was being a smart aleck last week, and I decided to create some hotkeys to switch between 2 things. So apologies about that, everyone. I accidentally, one of my edit hotkeys is evidently the same as the old hotkey from last week. So now let's see if I could get to. Now let's see if I can get the 3rd attempt right. Hello everybody, this weekend we have a little 2-part special here on the channel. Okie dokie. And this is in keeping with our current theme of 9/11 week, but this is something rather different. And then let's instead go. So one thing I do when I'm editing, I am always trying to cut between different angles. So for example, I would never cut from that to that, because it's nearly the same and it'll feel weird. So let me show you. 11 week, but this is something rather different. Now today I am driving a... It's just a bit odd, but if you cut from, say, that to that, it's a much more natural edit. Rather different. Now today I am driving a beautiful 1991 built 964 Carrera 4. So normally I want to try and show the audience the car as soon as possible. Callum wants to know how long did I work in film? 7 years professionally. Did I work on any big projects? No, not really. That's one of the reasons that I left. So I'm then going to start looking at all these little clips that I've got over here, which are all my kind of B-roll footage of the car. And then we're going to lay that on top. So a few seconds of each. There we go. Simon's just bought himself a 2016 Merc CL63 for 32k. The low mileage, is it a good deal or are you an idiot? I mean, it can be both. It is possible. So again, same rules apply when I'm doing the little clips here. Always try and make sure that in each in each shot you are getting a slightly different look. There you go. Nice and heavy breathing there for you. This is what happens when you have a microphone essentially in your nose. And hay fever. Trust me, going around at the minute with hay fever is not a good look. I am getting a lot of people staring at me and yeah, giving me very funny looks. Main thing, Simon, if the car keeps working, then, you know, enjoy it. Yeah. So Apex, yeah. So all of all six cameras that are on the car are all synchronized. It's also important as well because if I'm, say, out driving a car, particularly a sporty car, and I want to say like, oh, you did through this particular corner here, you know, I want to be able to show that corner. You know, it's nice, it's important. So let's get a few more clips and let's get a bit of... So sometimes I will talk about the interior separately. Sometimes, I mean, for now, I'm just going to put these shots in here as well. I can also tell... sorry, Tober, I didn't get back to you about car insurance when reviewing. Getting insurance for reviews was really, really difficult because very, very few insurers actually know what I do. They really don't seem to have a clue. So I spent a long time phoning around, getting proper insurance, and I do have now a policy that is a proper trade policy that covers me fully up to a certain value when I'm driving these cars for review. But it was a hard work to get it, and it's not cheap, but is well worth having, I think. So, okay, so I've got some shots here, some B-roll shots. So I'm now just going to play the clip because I can't remember what I was saying here. And notice as well, you can tell you can tell where I go quiet because you can see the waveform here. So it's really easy to see. Like, okay, so I'm probably not talking here, and then you see again here. You'll be like, oh, look, there's a natural lull here, you know, and you can sort of work out where the little breaks are. So this is a fairly sort of in-depth video, and we might not get to the end of this in this live stream, but yeah, so you can get an idea of how things go. Do I just... I mean, camera angles, honestly, so on something like a 964, the camera angles are like, where's a flat surface on this car? That's as simple as that, really. So let's play this and let's see what we get.
Built 964 Carrera 4, owned by the lovely Sam of Sam's Detailing. Now, Sam got in touch with me and offered me a go in his car, but more than that, he offered me 2 goes in his car. One today and one for in a few months' time, because this car is about to undergo a radical transformation. This is going to be turned into an RWB. Now, if you haven't heard of RWB, they are one of the wackier outfits to wave their hand over Stuttgart's finest legend. Now, if you haven't heard of
there you go. So you can tell there I got a redo. No, there is no script. There is no script. Everything is completely ad-libbed.
Now, if you
so there you go. I've got to find
now,
out.
If you haven't heard of RWB, they are one of the wackier outfits to wave their hand over Stuttgart's finest legend.
So I want to
now,
make
if
sure.
you haven't heard of RWB, they are one of the wacky outfits to wave their magic hand over Stuttgart's iconic rear-engine masterpiece.
So I need to get. So here's dilemma. I need to get rid of this audio. I don't want to get rid of this video. So easy enough. Just select one or get rid of, and I do this now. Again, for those that are actually interested in the editing process, this is super important. Now I've created an edit here, and if you listen, you will find out that you'll hear a little break in the audio.
RWB. Now, if you
hear that, the little pop.
B.
Now that is very common when you do this, and so many people leave those in their videos, and it drives me nuts because it is dead easy to get rid of it. all you do is you have a very, very short little crossfade. And there's actually a hotkey that I have, which has now put that crossfade on there. So, and it doesn't need to be very long. So I'm making this 6 frames. So that's about a quarter of a second. So, and if you then listen to it again,
WB. Now, if you haven't heard of our...
There we go. So you note there that there's no obvious audible gap in that sound at all.
RWB, they are one of the wackier outfits to wave their magic hand over Stuttgart's iconic rear-engine masterpiece.
And then obviously that's that for that audio. So you hit fast forward. Fast forward is your friend when doing these things. And
the term one-man...
There we go. So, okay, so Apex. So in terms of microphone placement, there is one which is in a very obvious place, which is on me. So I'm just going to check the audio for that. So the problem you get when you get a fade is that sometimes you will get audio that you didn't want coming through. So you get the end of a sentence or the start of another sentence.
The term one-man band is used rather frequently, but in this case, it is extreme. The term one...
There we go, another mistake. And back in.
Engine masterpiece. The term one-man band is thrown about quite a lot these days, but in the case of RWB, it is completely accurate.
So, microphone placement, there it is. Just hiding down there. Nothing fancy, regular. This is a little Tascam portable recorder. Nick, no, I haven't driven a Lexus SC430. That's the super, super weird car, isn't it? No. No, I have not. It's an odd thing indeed. Okay. Oh, people have asked if I can turn the microphone up. Let me see. I think I might actually be able to. Okay, that's the microphone up by a little bit. So I hope that improves things for people somewhat. Okay, so. Have I driven an Evo 10? Yes, George, I have actually driven 2 Evo 10s. One of them was a relatively standard final edition car, and one of them was a crazy mad bastard 600 horsepower Nuttermobile, which was devastatingly fast. So I'm going to want to get a drive-by in here soon. Don't want to get the drive-by in too close to after here, but I am going to have to look at the sort of the overall length of the piece. It's about 17 and a bit minutes, and I'm going to want to make sure that the drive-bys are relatively evenly spaced. So,
RWB, it is completely accurate. The company is technically one person. They have a few agents around the globe, but that is it.
And then let's go, say, to the little front shot of the car.
RWB, Raoul Welt. RW.
Oh, there's another mistake, so I've got to slice that out. So you go back, you find out where you started.
They have a few agents around the globe, but that is it.
So, have I ever turned down cars because I don't like them and I think that they're shit, but I don't want to say, I'm just too polite? No, but there are cars that people have asked me to review that I've driven, just not on camera, and I have said to people what my opinions of those cars are, and some people then have decided that they don't want their cars reviewed.
RWB, RWB,
there we go. So, ta-da. So, one reason I have done loads of camera angles is that I can use those to hide edits. So just there we have a little edit, and if I only had this one angle, then there would be a jump. So if we had, let's say we got the same angle, so let's have the same angle here, and you'll see what happens.
It's around the globe, but that is it. RWB, Raoul Welt Begriff.
See, that's what happens. But, oh, blimey, £5. Hip fines, you legend. So if we then do this instead, nobody actually notices that there was really an edit.
The globe, but that is it. RWB, Raoul Welt Begriff. Here's the result. Raoul Welt Begriff. RWB, Raoul Welt Begriff.
So again, another mistake. They happen. They happen all the time. So in this video in particular, I didn't know where we were. Sam was guiding me. Sam from Sam's Detailing is the guy that's in the passenger seat. It's almost always the owner in the passenger seat. I mean, they have to be there because I need them to help with the drive-bys, and also I'd like them to be there because I want them to know that their baby's being looked after. I've had
a couple of people have actually explicitly requested to not be in the car with me. A couple of people have explicitly said that they do want to be in the car with me. Christopher, nobody's really taken particular offence to anything that I've done.
Globe, but that is it. Raoul Weltbegriff is the brainchild of one Akira Nakai,
too scared to drive
a very passionate Japanese enthusiast.
So here, what I'll probably do as well is I'll probably try after this to find some pictures of the guy to drop in to sort of illustrate my point. So Keka's asked, are there any cars I've been too scared to drive? I was bricking it when I drove the XJ220. Absolutely bricking it. It was terrifying, utterly and totally terrifying. And yeah, that was scary. Hipvines, you know what? The Scimitar is such a bizarre car. I always think of it as sort of like a Lotus Elite knockoff. But I know someone with the Scimitar. It's not very working though, but I would like to drive one, especially if he can get that car actually fixed up.
Raoul Weltbegriff is the brainchild of one
Apothecary Cherry. Have I ever heard a car break down during filming? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. The Evo 10, I hit a rock, like a really small rock. It went under the car, but the car was super low, and it knocked something, and just knocked a gear lever slightly out of place. It was a really odd thing. We fixed it on the side of the road. And I also had an Audi RS4, not one of Audi's cars, that overheated. So yeah, that's the idea. Apex telling me not to sell out. I am trying not to. I mean, everything I do is kind of the same as it sort of always was. There's just a little bit more.
Akira Nakai, a very passionate Japanese enthusiast who puts his own touch on these German cars. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically,
there's the basically for Keith. Why was the XJ220 terrifying? Because it's incredibly wide, it's very long, seriously low. You can't see out of it. Everybody is looking at you, so they're not paying attention to what you're doing, and it's £500,000. Yeah, that's why. Would I give the owner a microphone? Yes, I sometimes have given the owner a microphone. It really depends. I tend not to do those kind of videos because I think people come more for my opinion on the car. However, that being said, yeah, you can just fund me with super chats. You're more than welcome to do that. On Saturday, there is an example of a video coming out with a lovely R8. In fact, I could probably show you. Oh, this is going to go slow. Anyway, with a guy called Volkswizard. We took his R8 V8 manual out, and we did a little mini review, and then he talked about some of the things you want to look at if you're thinking about buying one of those, all that sort of stuff. Has there ever been a situation where I've driven a car to do a review and I couldn't end up doing it because of weather? We don't really tend to get to the stage where someone has already appeared for the review, but we will cancel or postpone reviews if the weather's crap, unless it's something where it really, really, really does matter. Usually, I'm much more likely, I'm much more likely to cancel than the owners. Christopher, I have had only one person actually just leave me in the lurch, where I've gone out to meet them and they've not turned up, and that was fairly recently. So, one out of several hundred, I think, is not too bad.
German cars. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically, they look pretty wild. Think sort of more Magnus Walker, Outlaw, that kind of thing. But in truth, the RWB very much is its own thing. However, right now, right here, this is not that car. This is a reasonably standard 964. The 964 is a...
So there's my little mistake again.
One of the reasons that I decided to...
See, I do cock all the time. How did I feel the first time someone offered their car to me? You know what? It's terrifying. I'd probably go back and look and find out which one it was. But the first time, a member of the general public offered their car to me, I mean, it's kind of a surprise, and it was really nice because it was like, crikey, this YouTube actually works. So let's find a drive-by, because we've now been a little bit of time
since this, and you know the video is not going to be super long because it's getting shorter every time. There's loads more things to be edited out of it, so we then need to see, we need to see a drive-by. So people love seeing the cars drive past, and here's some slow-speed drive-bys. So we did this in the park, and the sound from these isn't great. So the sound on, I don't always use sound from drive-bys. So it's a nice shot, and it sounds okay, but it doesn't sound great. Okay, and then so let's just drop that in, and let's have it on top of this clip. Smooth our audio. So then let's see what happens.
Reasonably standard 964. One of the reasons I decided to dedicate such an amount of time to the 911 is because it is a car that means so many things to so many different people. In this particular case, the 964 is a car that Sam has always idolised.
Okay, so have I ever had any technical issues when I made a video? Yes. Yes, I have. And have I had looks from people when I drive by in a cool car? Yes, I've also had about 3 or 4 occasions where someone's just run up to me randomly and been like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, stop. And they've seen the cameras on the car and they think that something's hanging off the car. That happens. Don't it makes a good setting for a film. If you're talking about car stuff, then nice, beautiful Scottish country roads.
He recalls visiting the NEC Motor Show in Birmingham many years ago, and there is somewhere a picture of him and his brother lent on a 964.
So let's have a little bit of an interesting shot. So occasionally when I'm shooting as well, I'll get these other little just nice shots as well. So we just lay this in. Let's have a little bit of that. They're very people. Would I pay a premium for an early Evora over a Series 2 XE if it was my only car? Absolutely, because you cannot really daily a Series 2 XE. Sure, certainly not daily it and stay sane. So I would, yeah.
And his brother lent on a 964, and from that day forward, that was always the car for him. Like so many business people, when he started up his own enterprise.
Okay, and if memory serves, I think there we go. I got a little shot of the Sam's detailing bit here, which I think would be quite nice.
Shows we have the face.
Let's have that.
Sometimes I like car shows we have the face. It's like it feels weird. And someone's like my.
There we go. So let's have a shot of the Sam's logo and the face.
And someone's like my face is in some random person's car. It's like that.
There we go. Do I think that remaps are generally safe? It really depends. And do I do my homework? It really depends on the car. I try and do basic research, the history, specifications, that kind of stuff. But I actively avoid trying to read old reviews and things like that because I find that they will probably just colour my opinion of the car.
On a 964.
I don't want to do that.
And from that day forward, that was always the car for him.
Am I going to do more road trips and things?
Like so many business people,
I might,
when he
but the problem
started
is
up
they're
his
very
own enterprise,
expensive
he had
and
to
people don't
sell
watch
the
them,
cars he owned
so
at the
they
time
are
in
a
order to
real
fund things.
luxury thing.
But now, having had a few good years, he's decided to treat himself.
So, and let's just go. So I can't really go back to mine, my face here because the edit will be a bit weird.
Treat himself, and he decided to pick this up.
So then we got a nice bit of quiet again. So we were working out essentially where to go.
Right here.
So we were trying to work out. He's navigating me, trying to find a road. And actually, to be fair, he did a really good job. Oh, okay. So we got a little bit of exhaust. Shall we have a little bit of exhaust noise, everyone? Because I think we should. So this is a tricky one to do. So I want to make sure I get this bit of exhaust noise. So I kind of retrace my steps. I would love to review an Alphasud 1.5 green cloverleaf as it happens. You find this, and this will then tell me in the multi-clip where we are, at what point in time we are. So this is what I'm looking at the moment. So I go to the multi-clip, and you type in this time. So you want to get this to match this, and you can just do that with the number pad Remember what I said about doing everything with keys. So you then find your exhaust clip, and you hit F, which in Premiere is the match frame button. Now, if I have done things correctly, when I hit play, we will now be treated to a nice dose of acceleration. There you go. That should have sorted the echo. Sorry about that. I don't know why that keeps happening, but yeah, hopefully that's fixed that. Right. Let's Oh, doesn't that thing sound lovely on the overrun? So let's get in a little exhaust clip, da da da, and then because this is not part of the monster clip, so I have to manually turn this back upside down. I'm going to take the fisheye out to it, and then there's a couple of extra things I have to do here. So I got to smooth the audio either side. That's that done. Control Shift D in Premiere is the thing to do, but what you might notice here, and this is my audio levels over here on the right, is you might notice a difference in sound volume. So let's see if there is.
And he decided to pick this up.
So it's quite a bit louder. So what you need to do is you need to turn this down a little bit. Probably about 5 dB is probably going to do it in this one. And you can tell straight away that, you know, these spikes here are kind of leveling up. They're kind of matching. So now the audio change shouldn't be that bad.
Years, he's decided to treat himself, and he decided to pick this up.
Now, the thing is, you notice there that we actually have the same sound twice because I picked the same clip. And let's go back to here, and we
decided to pick this up. Now, eagle-eyed view.
And the audio smoothing hasn't gone on there, so we just do that.
Now, eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed the fact that I am on the left side of the car.
There we go. So that is the basics. So we're only 3 minutes into an 18-minute edit. I mean, normally I'd be doing it a lot quicker because I wouldn't really be explaining stuff as I go along. But are there any questions people would like to ask? Because if there are, or if there aren't, I am then happy, should people wish, to show you the 29 cars, as it's not too late, that are in the opening, rather than carrying on to do the same thing, because that's just kind of what I'm going to be doing. So, fire away the questions. You've got a couple of minutes, and then we'll show you the secret 29 vehicles that I've hidden carefully in the intro. I know, right? YouTuber life. It's a lot of this. There's a lot of this that goes on. So if you guys imagine, I've been spending sort of 50 minutes doing this to get. I mean, okay. In reality, this would take me a couple of hours. So Animal asking another insurance question. If you do have a collection, or you're starting a collection, you definitely want to get some sort of collector policy. I have a specialist trade policy, which wouldn't really be very useful for a lot of sort of people that aren't doing filming with them. So yeah, hip fines, as explained earlier on. Yes, my end credits do look a bit late 80s. So let's just skip to the end, and I'll show you how the ending happens, because it's again quite simple. So it's no, nobody has ever attempted to bribe me. That's not to say that I'm not above bribery. So I have saved here, and my little imagery and ting folder is what I call all my stuff. So I've actually gone back to my classic outro music, and actually I've got a step ahead of myself here. We want to use, remember that clip that I talked about earlier that was really cool, but is going to be the outro clip. So we need to find that wherever it has gone, which is the clip from the intro, if that makes any sense. So it's not this one, it's not this one, it's Not this one either. Where has it gone? Come on. Come on, Clippy. Can't find the damn thing now. There we go. There we go. So, that goes in there. Smooth that over. Then have the outro. And go in here. And then here is your ending of your video.
But now, I'm just going to enjoy this car for as long as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
There we go. So, let's look at that intro, shall we? Bye, Brick Lane. Da, 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 da. I don't know why I'm going on to that. Don't need to go on to that. Here is... So this is not the exact same. How did I make the intro? That is a template I downloaded and then spent a long time in After Effects. So I'll talk you through stage by stage of the intro now. So this one is Mercedes 190E Evo 1 Power Pack. So it's probably one that was easy to identify. Then you got McLaren 600 LT is here. Boom. And the thing is, this intro is so quick. This is Ford GT40. Then we have a Lotus XL. Over to the Liberty Warp-bodied Honda S660. Audi 10-valve Quattro. You then have the Trabant. And here we have Subaru Impreza WRX Bug-Eye. You've got the Nissan R35 GTR. BMW Z3. You've got a Lotus Evora. And notice also in that clip that the number plate is the wrong around because I wanted the cars to be going the opposite way. So I didn't want them to be going in the same direction, but I really love this clip. So yeah, I flipped it because I thought nobody's going to be paying enough attention to notice that the number plate has actually been reversed. And yeah, I have had enough of intros. It's not even anyone else's, that's just my own. So obviously Honda S2000. And then you've got their Mercedes S-Class, BMW 7 Series, and the Audi A8, and then things start getting a bit complicated. On the left, you've got the Audi R8, R15, A4 touring car, then you've got a Lotus XC Sport 380, you've got a 911 GTS, you've got an Evora 400, you've got a Ford Model T, and then you've got the Jag, that's the Jag XJ220, Venturi Atlantique 300, a Polaris Slingshot. You've also got the 387 Speedster, that video did really well. And, of course, there you go. There is the car. So, that's pretty much like, that's the frame. Pretty much. But there is one buried right in there. Right in there that nobody has actually spotted because it's incredibly well hidden. Have I driven an open gate Audi R8 manual? Yes, I have a number of times. Yes, I would choose it over definitely the R-Tronic. S-Tronic, maybe depending on what you want. I mean, my preference would definitely be for the manual. And you will in fact see a video on one on Saturday. Yes, you have to be very careful with music. So the hidden car is here. There's a car hidden there. Anyone tell what it is? And of course, the whole thing comes through at a huge rate. So, you know, lasts 17 seconds to one of the intro. So, mystery car. That is Celica GT4. SD205. The one that I reviewed, not my own. Yeah. So there we have it, everyone. That is my basic editing method. So yeah. Oh, PH, you got there in the end. So yeah, that is how everything kind of goes together. I try and keep my edit sequence fairly neat and tidy. So now my task for the rest of the evening is to carry on. If a webcam arrives in time for next week, I will do my little talk through with all of the caps. If it doesn't, I'll find something else to do, because I really do enjoy these little live sessions. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Really enjoyed it. Thanks especially to those that have slung me some money on the super chat. That's incredibly unexpected. Very, very nice. The stream will be saved. The stream will be saved and done. I mean, I might do a sort of more editing related video. It depends, but yeah, no, this stream is going to be saved so people can rewatch it. And because the last one I did, like 6,000 people watched it after the fact. Only about 200-300 people watched the live thing. So we got like 100 people watching this one. So this will be saved for people to enjoy later on. But yeah, there you go. Thanks everyone. Oh, thank you very much. You saw. All right, guys. See you soon. And turning off now. Bye bye.